For more than 50 years, one name has been synonymous with performance, a name with roots so deep in racing history. And after putting together one of the coolest collections of classics, customs, and of course racing cars, he is offering a small selection to the public for the very first time. Mecum Auctions presents the Jack Roush Collection.
I occasionally have times during my day when I need a little break, and I'll come over and I'll walk through the museum and stop and spend some time with a car that I hadn't spent time with lately, and get myself charged up for what I'll do the rest of the day.
He's a very driven person, highly competitive. You know, he lights up when he sees how the pieces fit together.
I had a great interest in how things worked. And then I started when I was 12 years old working in a dealership in the parts department, and I was selling parts and being familiar with what parts are required to service an engine. I came from a very simple roots in a farming community. Went to work for Ford, and I got myself a master's degree and was ready to work in Ford Research. And the plant manager that I was with at the time says, "We're not going to let you go. We're going to make a plant manager out of you." And I was not willing to take my potential and to limit it by doing things that other people would let me do. So I started running the company.
Jack, I think, is the sort of person who sees a problem and just doesn't give up until he's found some way to work around it or to solve it. Jack Roush is an automotive icon. He's a force of nature in the American road racing scene in NASCAR. Even at 84, you can see the gears turning in the head and how far ahead he's thinking on things, how many different things he's juggling, and it's just what a different level he can operate on compared to us mere mortals.
We've spent 38 years collecting, restoring, preserving cars and all kinds of artifacts. I mean, it goes way beyond the vehicles. But this is the first time that we're offering anything that really represents that legacy. So it's a sampling of everything, that he's touched throughout his life, whether it's specialty builds or race cars, production vehicles that represent a piece of his life.
The most 29 was the car that came into being by NASCAR's desire to have a production car variant for all the race car engines and to race on our racetracks.
The main thing I think was just how lucky Jack was in terms of being able to find that car. The CarCraft number on the car is 1429, so it's number 429.
I was actually 11 years old when he bought that. And he brought it home, and I was like, wow, what is that?
Had seen the car for sale in front of a gas station in, I think, 1971. The original buyer in the car, I believe, had passed away in his 40s or 50s, and the car was gifted to his 18-year-old son, who decided to take it drag racing, and either ran out of ambition or money or both.
It stayed in our garage for a few years, and then it went to a friend of his. And that friend did most of the restoration, and then it came back here. And then, of course, Dad built the engine, and that's a very, very special engine for him.
I changed the displacement. I changed the camshaft. I changed the rear axle ratio. It's a plus 429 done right. It's got a better performance and a better set of specifications than the production car.
I think he was challenged to see what he could do to make it better. So he's massaged and tuned and worked on that engine for quite a long time to just get it right where he wants it.
Tell me about Nobody's Fool, because I can only imagine that there are a lot of stories surrounding that car.
I've been a Paul Newman fan my whole life, and I wish that I could get him in my car all the years I was road racing. And so when I was about to quit road racing, he came to me and he said, Jack, I've got some money left over from the promotion of my Nobody's Fool movie. And he says, I'd like for you to fix me a car to race 24 hours at Daytona with. I said, if you had enough money that I can make the preparations that I made in the past when I've been successful, I could test things and feel like we've got a reasonable chance to finish, I says, I'll do it.
The Rolex 24 Hours is the most difficult endurance race in the world. The track's 3.3 miles long. You do it at the end of January. You got 14 hours of darkness. They start 65 cars. It's chaos the whole time. And that car rolled into victory lane.
The Nobody's Fool Mustang was really the culmination of Jack's domination of the American road racing scene from the early 80s into the mid-1990s. The 1995 Daytona 24 Hours was the final IMSA race they actually ran, and it was the 10th of 10 24-hour victories for the team. From a conservation standpoint, the as race bodywork is always kind of a challenge because it oftentimes has champagne and Coca-Cola and whatnot ever left on it, so it's going to eat the paint. It's going to attract dust. So there was really a conscious effort made back at that point that it needed to come off.
So the decision was made to put the spare bodywork, and this was bodywork that was actually at the track on the truck in case the car suffered damage. They could replace pieces, and so Daytona USA wanted the fresh bodywork on the car, and they had it on display for a total of 8 years.
But the fact that Jack kept that car preserved with the bodywork, with the car, engine, transmission, everything, there's nothing like it.
We started the car up yesterday. It hadn't run since the race in '95.
He was beaming.
Really? Yeah.
Big old smile, ear to ear.
The Tommy Kendall Mustang, much like the Nobody's Fool Mustang, is kind of a culmination of Jack's time in that series.
It was fierce. This era is iconic because you had all the major manufacturers, all the major drivers. It was a fight to the finish. It was mano-a-mano, driver against driver, manufacturer against manufacturer, scraping, grinding, beating, banging. It was fun, it was exciting, it was intense, it was adrenaline-packed. And when the checkered flag flew, if you were smart enough and aggressive enough to get to victory lane first, and this car got to victory lane a lot with Tommy Kendall.
That car ran the 1997 season, all 13 races, and it won the first 11 races in a row.
For Tommy to do that was incredibly difficult. Everything has to be right. Everything has to be on. And it's magic, and it doesn't happen very often. And when it does, and what Tommy was able to achieve with that car is nothing short of phenomenal.
You have a lot of different drivers represented in these cars and these trucks, but Matt Kenseth is the one that delivered that very first championship, and you have one of his cars in this collection.
We do. So the car that's being included in the auction was a car that didn't actually race that season, but it is, to our knowledge, the only example of the DeWalt primary scheme from that season. It's a road course chassis, so it was actually the road course backup for the every race that season, and somehow just never managed to make it off the hauler. But luckily for us, that means that was preserved completely intact and is probably the best example of one of Matt's cars from that season that currently exists.
And another thing that you guys are auctioning off is the Driver X truck, which is basically that, looking for the next talent, if anyone remembers the Gong Show, which I do vividly.
Yeah, Driver X aired 2 seasons, 2005 and 2006. The truck in the collection was from the second season, 2006, when Eric Darnell won the eventual seat in a Roush Fenway. The finding talent, developing talent, and promoting from within has always been a huge point of pride for him, I think, in terms of his drivers in NASCAR over the years.
For Jack to be able to, at this point in his life, let them loose, give that opportunity for a new home, an exciting opportunity for really the people that are passionate about those kinds of cars, something that you just can't go by, something that's so well preserved, the iconic name behind them. All those things together just speak volumes of what's in store.
What do you think auction day is going to be like for you?
I'm going to somebody close by with a handkerchief. I'd like to cry my brains out.
It's going to be a transition.
Yeah.
You know, the whole time I've been really working towards collecting and preserving, you know, his legacy. And I think there comes a time when sometimes it's better to hand off that legacy to somebody else.
Yeah, obviously it's kind of bittersweet for us, but you know, it's probably a good opportunity for some of those vehicles to be able to find a new home with someone who will appreciate them as much as we do.
It's going to be a lot of fun to meet the people that will show the interest in the history the cars have and in my career of the things that works well. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And we'll have some Kleenex for you.
Okay.